During college break, I wanted to go to my childhood bedroom. "Don't go in there," my mom said. "It's just for storage now," my dad added. He looked nervous. Later that day, I went in anyway and saw this. 5 minutes later, I called 911. I didn't expect much, just sleep, honestly. I came home with a headache and a half-dead phone, thinking about my old bed and the cheap lavender candle I left on the windowsill last summer. It was late, not dramatic late, just dark and quiet. My parents opened the door like nothing was weird. My mom said hi. My dad joked about how heavy my suitcase was. I nodded, followed them in, and tried to remember how many hours of sleep I'd lost that week. Probably 10 too many. Everything seemed fine. That was the strange part. There was no tension, no arguing, no sideways looks, just a clean hallway and the faint smell of laundry detergent. "I'm just going to drop my stuff in my room," I said without thinking. That's when my mom said, "Don't go in there." It was immediate, a little too fast. Then my dad added, "It's just for storage now." He looked nervous, not alarmed, just uncomfortable, like he didn't know what version of this conversation we were about to have. I froze a little, not because it was a big deal, just because it was weird. "It's only temporary," my mom said, like she was smoothing it over. "You'll stay in the guest room this time." They moved on quickly. I didn't. My old room, the only space in that house that ever felt mine, was off limits, blocked, just like that, no warning. They didn't explain. I didn't ask. I followed them to the guest room like it didn't matter, even though it did. The guest room was mostly a folded-up couch and a weird smell that hadn't been there before. There was a blanket but no pillow, no lamp, no closet. I sat down, and the springs pushed back harder than I expected. "This okay?" my mom asked. "Yeah," I said. It wasn't. The rest of the evening passed quietly. We had dinner. No one said much. They asked about school. I answered. My dad talked about gas prices. My mom laughed at something, but I can't remember what. It was like we were all reading from a script no one cared about anymore. I went to bed early, or at least I tried. I stared at the ceiling. The room was cold. My back hurt. There was a weird noise in the wall, maybe pipes, maybe something alive. I kept thinking about the door, why it was blocked, what could possibly be inside. And I know it sounds small, but it didn't feel small. It felt wrong. I got up sometime after midnight. I didn't check the clock, just needed to see it, needed to know. The hallway was dark, quiet. I walked slowly, like I was afraid of waking someone, or maybe of what I'd find. The boxes were gone, the ones that were stacked in front of my door earlier. They were just gone. I stood there staring. Then I tried the handle. It was locked. My room never had a lock, not growing up, not ever, not even when I begged for one in high school. I stood there longer than I should have. Then I remembered the hiding spot, back hallway, behind the laundry shelf. That's where they always kept the spare keys. I went there, reached behind the panel, and sure enough, there was a key, new, shiny, taped in the usual spot. I don't know what I expected, maybe that it wouldn't be there, maybe that I'd chicken out. I didn't. Back at the door, I slid the key in, turned it. It clicked open. I took a breath. Then I opened the door. It smelled different, like dust and something else, like the air hadn't moved in weeks. I stepped inside. I saw what was in there, and I stopped. Everything in my body stopped. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't some random storage box or old furniture or a pile of